What's going on, everybody? I am Pitts from Pitts and Foot Sports Talk Radio, Pitts Sports Zone, Bowie TV here with the great Coach Swan, Bowie State University women's basketball coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So it's kind of about that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple more games to finish off the season. You know, how important is it to keep the players focused on the job and not looking ahead?
Well, we're just telling them that every game counts. You know, every game could be your last game. We're still fighting for seeding, so every game is important, but we're still taking it one day at a time. We had an interview earlier this year. We talked about the keyword consistency. So we just have to be consistent. We had a win last night, so if we played with it, we did yesterday. We have a good chance going into the tournament.
If you can, give me one memorable moment of yours
this year's season, most memorable. I have two. It's kind of a tie. So when we played Cal PA, that was the first week that they were ranked nationally, and we came out and we beat them. So that was a great win for us. And then when we played Frostburg after the break, we were down the entire game and ended up winning in overtime. So those were two great memorable moments for us.
Can I say that universally, your entire every young lady that I've interviewed and both of your coaches have all listed that as your most favorite moment? The Cal game.
And I think the reason why is because that was one of the tougher games that we had this season, and we just came out and we played aggressive, we played together, we played with heart and passion from beginning to end. And it was a great team effort. Everyone came in and played their role. We distributed the ball well. We played defense. It was just, I'm not gonna say it was a perfect game, but it was almost perfect game for us.
So last year, CIAA game, I asked you a question. Well, I didn't ask you a question. I made a statement, right? Mm-hmm. And it seems like that statement followed us into the season, right? Even home games at times felt like away games.
Yeah.
How hard is it to keep your players mentally focused when they appear to be playing against the opponent and the official?
So it's something that we start in preseason, just staying focused and not worrying about the uncontrollables. So you can't control the referees, you can't control the fans, you just have to control the things that you can control. So that's something that we try to focus on. However, it is frustrating because the same way that the refs have emotions, the players have emotions, the coaches have emotions. I think the difference is at the end of the day, it's no shade to the refs, but they go home and they go about their business. The coaches, it goes against their records. The team, it hurts them as far as seeding, the players, it goes deeper than just between the lines for the players, the coaches, and the team. So we just tell them to just lock in, stay focused, and just control what you can control. So
and I'm sure I'm sure that's hard. Because as I shared with Anii earlier, Anii is a hard player, but I also have noticed and observed that she wears her emotions on her sleeves.
Yeah.
And I remember in that game, in the CIAA game last year, there were some moments where, her emotions showed, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Just checking that to, like, okay, we've been here before. Mm-hmm. We dealt with it all year.
Right.
So now we already know that we have to go in and we expect to not only play against whatever opponent has in front of us, but we actually have to also contribute on talent the rest as well.
Yeah, so I think the biggest difference between last year and this year is like we haven't had the same crew. So last year we kind of knew what referees we were going to have for most of our games. It was just like a recycling of refs. I feel as though this year we've had a good mixture of refs, so it hasn't been repeatedly the same referee. So we've had a chance to play against different reffing styles. So we've had good calls, we've had bad calls. We had some games where it was, one touch is a foul. We had some games where the refs will let you play. So I think this year, with the diversity of the reffing, I think it prepared us better to go into the tournament. I think one of the main issues last year, it wasn't more so the refs. It was more so that the games were called a certain way during the season, and then when we went into the tournament, it was called completely opposite. Okay. But again, I think with a different, a diverse group of refs, experience and a diverse group of refs this year, I think we'll be better.
When Anii made her 1,000 points, what were your thoughts? What were your emotions?
I was happy for her. I knew she was going to get it. I was glad it was over. I was glad it was over because like she's really emotional. So she was forcing a couple of shots that game. But I was just glad that I was excited for. It's a special moment. Again, only 11. She's the 11th person in Bowie State women's basketball history to score 1,000 points. So it was a very exciting moment. I just wish we could have had the W that night as well.
Well, Coach, I wish you and your ladies good luck in the CIAA first in the next 2 games, then we will go to the CIAA tournament.
Thank you.
It's Coach Swan, best women's coach in the CIAA women's basketball, HBCU down. Coach Swan, she thinks she's shy, but she actually loves the But we'll get more from Coach Swan as the season winds down around the tournament. Thank you for listening. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts from Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio here at the ncaa, aka Showtime. How you doing today?
I'm okay.
So, last couple of games of the season. What's your thoughts?
Going into them or the past ones?
No, just the last 2 coming up. What are your thoughts just on these last 2 before entering the CIAA tournament?
I think these are really important. Well, these are the difference between playing 4 games and 5 games. So hopefully we can push through. I know we have a long 2 weeks ahead of us, but I think we can pull through.
So before we actually delve into the actual interview, so congratulations on your 1,000 points. How did that feel?
Thank you. The game itself is actually really stressful because I never had to meet like a point limit, I guess. So I was stressed, and then my whole family was there, but I did it 4th quarter.
How did it feel?
It felt good once I did it. Yeah, it was probably one of the best feelings. I got a little emotional because I feel like I worked really hard, so it finally paid off.
So when you talk about being emotional, you talk about the hard work and everything that goes into it. How important is it for you being a leader on a team, not just what your play, but also as a vocal and emotional leader, for you to try to, help steer and corral the other younger players?
Honestly, I think I could do a better job being a leader, but I try to focus on building their confidence. I feel like basketball is all about confidence, pushing them to shoot that shot, pushing them to do stuff that we work on in practice, skills that they know that they have, just giving them confidence to do it.
So I've noticed a couple of games that I've come to, and again, I'll throw that disclaimer out. These are my words, not hers. It appears at times that you guys are playing against the team and the officiating, right? How important is it going forward for these last couple of games to try to rise above it the best of your ability?
Super important. I think a lot of our games that we've lost, we spent a lot of the time complaining to the ref instead of getting back, or instead of go getting the rebound, we'll complain to the ref. So I think now that we know we're not going to get calls, I think it'll be easier for us to just ignore them. And I think honestly, when we ignore them, we pull closer together.
As great as a player as you are, I know that you also play with your emotion, obviously. Especially when you see you or a teammate get called for a foul that is repeatedly done back. How important is it for you as a leader going forward to try to, try not to allow it to alter your mindset or your position moving forward?
That's actually one of my biggest goals coming in these next few games, is controlling my emotions, being in control of my emotions, because it does affect the team when I'm not controlling myself. So going into the next few games, I know refs are looking for me to lose my mind. I'm just not going to give them that satisfaction.
Last year's CIAA tournament, the officiating definitely played a large part in the emotional side of, and I think that it in turn took the focus away from you guys, being able to really get into the group, because even in that second half, you guys were making a comeback and then the officiating kicked back in. How important is it, or are there lessons or other things that occurred last year, and also seeing how it went this year, that you guys can take into the tournament and be like, you know what, the expectation is we're not going to get this, so we have to mentally figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah, that's super important. Honestly, I think it's something we need to emphasize more right before the game. I think a lot of the times we forget, or we see our coaches talking to the refs when that's their job. Our job is only to play. So I think as leaders, we need to emphasize that to the entire team for the game starts.
How excited are you for the CIAA tournament this year?
Probably the most excited I've been since I've been in CIAA.
And that's not a comparison, but how do you feel going into the CIAA tournament this year versus last year?
I think last year, nerves still got me a little bit, being on the big stage. But I think now my confidence is way higher than it used to be. So I'm going to go into this game way more focused than last year and way more confident, just try to dominate.
If you have, or not if you, but say there's a young lady out there looking for a basketball team, right? She's looking for a university. She's coming up. She's junior going in the senior year. Why Bowie State?
Why Bowie State? I think it's just the family culture we've built here. I think also a big reason why I chose Bowie State is the coaches. I think they do a good job of like being coaches, but sometimes they take on that parent role. I think they do a good job of making sure that we're like mentally and emotionally okay.
Yeah.
And physically okay. And also our team is actually pretty fun. Like we get along really well and we have a lot of fun together.
So, CIAA tournament's coming up. On that Saturday, the goal, the hopes is that Bowie's women is playing in that game. How exciting would that be?
I can't even put it into words how exciting that would be. Since I've been here, I've been taken out we've been taken out first round both years. Honestly, one game at a time. I really just want to get past that first game.
Right, get over that hump.
Yeah.
And then you kind of breathe and.
Yeah, I think once we get over that first hump, we'll be fine.
Again, it's your boy Pitts on Pitts on Push Sports Talk Radio. Here with Showtime. Again, congratulations on your 1,000 points.
Thank you.
And nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts on Pitts on Push Sports Talk Radio. Bowie TV, Comcast, Channel 77, Verizon, Channel 11. Coming to you live from Bowie State University with some of the women from the team, the seniors of the team. Jayla and Robyn, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
So, only a couple games left in your regular senior season. Tell me your thoughts. Robyn, you go first.
I feel like these are must wins for us, and it's kind of bittersweet to know that it's all coming to an end, but I'm excited for the tournament.
What about you?
It's a little surreal to think like these are like our last game. I feel like it probably won't hit me until like it's literally the last moment where like, oh, this is it, you know.
Emotions.
Yeah, like I don't know, because it just hasn't sunk in yet for me, but I think it'll be a little bit of motivation too.
Emotions for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just I feel like it's kind of hitting, and like every game is like getting closer. Like, wow, I'm about to be down, but yeah, a little bit of emotions.
Yo, so I got a question. Do you smile intentionally every time you're doing something on the court? Like, I had to ask that, man, because sometimes when going through the pictures, no matter what it is, whether she's falling, whether she's dribbling, she's always smiling. Like, is that intentional?
No, but that's actually been happening ever since my freshman year. Like, Coach Swan actually used to get on me for smiling. Like, when I get to steal or something. I don't know, just, I'm a happy person. So.
You just be smiling super hard. Literally. If you can, give me one memorable moment of this year.
Memorable moment of this year. I feel
I would just say the Cal PA game. It was just a really fun game for everybody. Everybody played good. Energy was up. It was just a good win, especially since they were quote unquote a ranked team nationally. So it was just like a good way to start the season off.
I would just say the game yesterday because we had to get our get back from senior night. And then I feel like we all played as a team. Like everybody had the same mindset. Like we had to get them back because they was talking a little bit of trash. Yeah. So that kind of put another little extra, on our shoulders. So I think yesterday was fun, real fun.
I bet, and it's like fun to play. It's like when a team is like talking the whole time. Like it just adds a little extra.
How important is it though to, while it does bring out the competitive edge in everyone, how important is it though to not get too edgy to where you're losing your composure as far as to not playing your game and now it's more emotional versus actually performance?
I feel like we had a couple incidents during the season where like we let our emotions like take over basketball per se, but I feel like yesterday was like the growth in us because it was times that it was like players got fouled real hard and they didn't react and they know to react. So I feel like yesterday was like, I don't know, the start of our going to the top.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's always been said in practice too, like don't let our emotions take over. Like it's always been said. It's just like putting it into action now. Like this is the time where like now we actually have to take what we're being said in practice and put it onto the floor. So it's no time for get too emotional. It's time to just play basketball.
So we talk emotion, right? Emotional moment last year, CIAA tournament, right? And I'll say this again, like I said for Coach Jane and Coach Johnson, these are my words. It's not the coaches, it's not the players' words. But the officiating last year was not the best, right? And when we talk emotion, and we all know that when doing so, that can actually, that element of a game when you feel like you're fighting against the referees, the officiating, and the team, it puts a mental strain on you, right? How important is it for this year, if for some reason the whistle's going to be going your way early on, or if you start noticing, like last year, it was very evident, a foul that you would give, you don't return, you don't receive back. How important is it to take that from last year and use that as a stake of motivation?
To be honest, I feel like we've been facing that all year. So I feel like by now we used to it. Like we go into games like we play 8 on 5. Like I hate to say it, but people don't like Bowie, so we already got that mindset. Like we go into the game playing 8 on 5. Like call's not gonna go away. You just gotta play through it. Like on the layups, you like finish the layup. You're not gonna get the foul. So.
Yeah, we've been going through this all season. There's not a time where we have we probably had maybe one game all season, but there was good officiating. So like it's nothing that we're not used to, especially with it being at CI's last year. So we already got that mindset. We always go into the mindset of like, look, you're not gonna get the call, just play. Next play, we can't control what the refs are gonna do, so we just gotta play a game.
As the seniors on the team, how important is it for you to display, for you to lead, for the younger players and try to help coach that along?
It's very important because it's like you gotta keep the traditions going and stuff like that. But I just try to like lead by example most of the time, like because they always come to me with questions like all the time. So I just try to lead by example, just say the right things and just be encouraging everybody.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the best way to do it is just by leading by example. You can say a lot of things, but if they see you in practice doing everything you need to do, then everybody usually just follows suit,
So the last question I'm going to ask you, right? You have a young lady out there who's looking for a university to further her basketball career and education. Jayla, I'm going to start with you first on this one. Why Bowie State?
Why Bowie State?
Yes.
I feel like basketball culture-wise, really just sport in general, I feel like we just care a lot. Like the heart for sports in Bowie is just so big. Like it's just a different feeling when you play. I feel like you won't get that into many other places.
For me, Bowie is home. Like ever since I got here freshman year, I've always felt welcome. especially by my teammates. That's another reason why I came back for my extra year, because my teammates, like, I really made lifelong friendships just from the team, and I already know my coaches, looking out for me always. Anything, and then just the staff around the building. We got Zach, who told me, Crystal, Coach Page, everybody just want our best interests.
Well, again, congratulations again on graduating. I know that's a bittersweet moment. Wish you nothing but the best in this future.
Thank you.
It's your boy Pitch from Pitch and Push Sports Talk Radio.